This episode of the Leading Ladies podcast is proudly sponsored by Dutton Gregory Solicitors. After 75 years building an enviable reputation for its legal services on the South Coast, Dutton Gregory has responded to the demand of its national property clients and opened a new office in the city centre of Liverpool. From property purchase, development and lettings to the commercial needs of companies and personal circumstances, find out all about Dutton Gregory's full range of legal services and friendly solicitors at duttongregory.co.uk. Hi and welcome to Spill the Tea with LLIB. I'm Cal.
And I'm Clare.
And together we founded the incredible platform that is Leading Ladies in Business, a platform that inspires and supports female business women across the globe. Hello and welcome to Spill the Tea with LLIB. I am super excited about today's guest, Alex, who is here. We first met, me and Alex, about... I don't even know how many years ago it was now, but anyway, it was on a badminton court in Bootle, and a lot has changed since then, mostly how we look, because we were 11 and 12 at the time, so it would be weird not to have changed a bit, wouldn't it? But we have changed a little. Times have moved on. We've moved on.
Welcome back, guys.
We've both got businesses now. And Alex is here today to talk about her new role with Dutton Gregory Solicitors.
Yes.
Yeah, which is super exciting. So go on, Alex. Since those many years ago on the badminton court, how have we got to where we are now? Not me, you. Spill the tea with LLIB.
I'm actually surprised you didn't actually throw in there that you always beat me at badminton.
I did always
it's like a constant.
I did, yeah.
Yeah,
was she like that then as well?
Even when we played a few months back, when we said, right, we need to relive our badminton days, she still battered me on the court.
I might get a sympathy vote here then, right now at the end.
No. So the rematch is on now.
Yeah.
So anyway, I started with Dutton Gregory Solicitors in February. It's a pretty established law firm, been going 70 years on the South Coast, and I was fortunate enough to be asked completely out the blue, would I head their growth in the North? Never in a million years did I think, as a business owner for the last 17 years, that I would be asked to head something so big and well established. But here I am, after so many years in property, running a law firm in the North, which is pretty exciting. Yeah, pretty exciting.
So now that you're working for a Liverpool firm, do you also have to, and they're southern based, aren't they? Do you have to say things like grass and path just to fit in, or do you keep it quite natural?
No, keep it quite natural.
Yeah,
I was in Ikea yesterday looking at glasses, not glasses.
Good, I'm glad.
But yeah, we,
And are they okay with that?
Yeah, they're all right. I think they've got somebody coming in to translate the Scouse accent.
Perfect. We do need a lot of translation.
I sent some articles out of the Liverpool Echo, which explains some
was
of the phrases that I use, like meth.
Meth, good one. Yeah.
Just all these phrases that, Scousers come out with that they don't understand.
Our article in the Liverpool Echo the other day, did you send that to them?
Of course. Yeah, it's framed in the office.
In the toilet.
Just what we wanted.
I love that.
So that's it. So that's what I've been doing. So, as I mentioned, I didn't expect to head a law firm, but the opportunity came to me just by sheer fluke. I'm quite fortunate enough that my business has been set up in a way it could run without me.
Yeah.
But I've never had the courage or the finances to be able to go, I'm going to leave you to it. It's always been one of those things, a client would phone you and you go, I'm not seeing clients this year. I said I wouldn't do this. Okay, yeah, I'll help you. Yeah. And, before you know it, you're in the thick of running the business and doing the day-to-day. And in order to have a successful business, especially these days, and I know a few of the people who've been on these podcasts before may have mentioned, there's a big difference between running the business and being in the business. And it's sometimes hard to strike that balance, because the things that you need to spend time on doing, like business development, marketing, IT, all these technical things, while seeing clients is quite challenging and quite difficult. So being able now to see how my business does without me is quite exciting. But it's taken me a long time to get there. So I became an accidental business owner, 17 years in property, 15 years business owner. And it was completely accidental.
Was it that no one else would employ you?
No. In fact, I actually...
Were you the unemployable?
No, I always, this is how, quite sad. I always wanted to be a geography teacher. It was my little way of escaping geography. And if I could show other kids what I saw in a topic, I always wanted to do it. So I stumbled into property just because I was working in an estate agency at the time while I was finishing off my degree, and was quite good at it. I was heading up an estate agency. We had 3 branches across the north, and I was looking after all their lettings, and I was always the one helping the underdog. How can I get that person into that house? So I was filling out housing benefit applications, was doing everything humanly possible to get that person in that house. Even saying to landlords, don't worry about your first month's rent and deposit. They're fine. We'll fill out the paperwork. We'll get the housing benefit page. You'll be fine. So I was always trying to get people in. And then when I was going to start my PGCE, I said, right, I need to leave now, and gave my notice in. I went to start my PGCE at the Open University, which just got postponed because the way the Open University work things, they've got to find you a placement, and they never quite found me a placement. So I took another job as office manager in another estate agency in North Liverpool. And when the Open Uni finally said to me, oh, you're going to have to reapply, I was like, oh my God, this is going to drive me insane. So I decided at that point, I need to just go all guns blazing and go to uni full time, never mind juggling the house, we'll find a way of doing it. And I quit my job. And on the back of that, an hour later, the 2 directors phoned me and said, Alex, we don't want you to quit. If we give you a third of the business and, pay rise and a car, would you stay? And I was 23 or 24 at the time. And my other half, Joe, I phoned and said, I've been offered this. And Joe was like, well, you haven't even applied for your PGC yet, Alex. Why didn't you just take it? Yeah. And there I am, 17 years later. We bought the other business partners out, and in the end I sold that business in 2016, 17. And without the proceeds of that, I wouldn't have my children. It's paid for a lot of IVF and a lot of stuff. So everything happens for a reason.
100%.
So I sold that business 2017, and at the time I was already doing mortgages. So I couldn't find a mortgage advisor to help the underdog. I always wanted to get that person into that house. It's always been about that journey for me.
Why is that so important to you?
Do you know what? Going back, I think it could... God, thanks for asking that. It threw me out right under. When I was at uni, I had a bit of a challenged upbringing anyway. And there was one teacher in my school who literally moved heaven and earth to get me out of my family home and into a house at uni for my first year. And if it wasn't for her, literally, she took me to Ikea. I'd never been to Ikea. Second time I've mentioned that. Are they sponsoring the podcast next time? Second plug, isn't it? But she took me to Ikea. I'd never been to Ikea before. She literally bought everything. So from like plates, tea towels, everything humanly possible for me, and found me this house in Chester with 3 Gibraltarians and a Spaniard. They all hated me. And I was there living in a little bedroom, which was the size of a broom cupboard with the door opened outwards because there was no room inside for the door to open inwards. But that was me. I was there. I was set up. I didn't have the chaos back home. And I think for me, that person... If I can help people get from whatever their journey looks like, into a house or into a property, that one woman did that for me all those years ago. And it's my way of being ever so grateful, because if she hadn't done that, I don't know where I'd have ended up, really. So, so that's pretty much why I'm keen on trying to get people into houses. Yeah.
I think you've done okay.
Yeah, so fast forward, I owned a pretty successful mortgage business, which I've now taken a back seat in. Still got a financial interest in that business, but I don't do the day-to-day. That's now taken over by my colleague Mark, who is running the show. Yeah. And it's nice to see that they're doing so well and the foundations are being set and, that can crack on. I met Dutton Gregory because I thought they were opening up in the city. It's another law firm. They're all a bit all right. I'm happy to meet with potential people I can introduce business to. And actually they're so forward thinking. They do the job really well. They care about the people that work for them. And I was quite excited when they said they were opening up in North. I said, oh, brilliant. I'll introduce you to everybody. I think you're fantastic. And they was like, oh, well, we think you could take this role on in the North. Would you be interested? And I was like, me? I just wasn't expecting him. And go back to Joe. I always phone Joe straight away. Oh my God, what? I've been potentially offered this opportunity, and Joe's kind of like my sounding board. Yeah. And she just said, well, if you don't do it, how would you feel if somebody else was doing it? I was like, well, I'd probably be disappointed that I didn't give it a go.
That's a good answer, isn't
So I was
it?
like, do you know what? Sod it. Yeah, I'll give it a go.
Why not?
So and I think it's the nudge that I've needed to get me off the tools. I don't think I'd have ever come off the tools because I love doing what I do.
Yeah.
But you know, it's that extra step into the property transaction. I've done lettings, sales, estate agency, mortgages, finance, and now I'm into the conveyancing realm. The other part of the journey that used to drive me insane. How can I get the law bit working as well as I wanted it to?
Yeah.
So in terms of personal development, I'm made up.
So in terms of then your biggest inspiration around that, you mentioned Jo a fair
Oh,
amount,
honest
and
to
I know
God, yeah.
that she's incredible and definitely a sounding board. What inspires you to keep going? What or who?
I think it is actually Jo, if I'm honest. We've been together for 17 years now, 18 years. And I think I'm away all the time. Like I always think, what can I do next? What can I do next? I'm always quite busy. Or how can I improve this? How can I do this? And Jo's kind of a good sounding board and we'll just go, why?
Yeah.
And go, okay, why? Why am I doing it that way? So I think in terms of that, we work quite well as a team. Jo's currently doing a PhD. Spent the last 6 years at the business management school at Liverpool Uni, studying a master's, everything around business, around EDI, and all of that insight has been so valuable without having a business in the background that could impact her way of being with me. It just makes it easier to go, well, what would other people do? And because she's done the research, it saves me doing it.
We all need a Jo.
What a business
We all need a
advisor.
Jo, all of you need Jo. I'll introduce you.
Yeah. Come on, Jo. We're ready and waiting.
I love that.
So what have been the biggest challenges then along the way?
I think, do you know what, in terms of running the business, the biggest challenge has been human beings, people, whether that be the people we serve or look after or the people that work with us. That has probably been the biggest challenge. But overall, I'd say the last 5 years has probably been the most stressful for me. That's because we've welcomed our beautiful whirlwind children to the world 5 years ago. And they are beautiful whirlwinds. They do not sit still for 1 second. And I always thought with my other half, Jo, having the boys, that Jo would take the maternal route. But because Jo's been studying her PhD and everything's about equality, diversity, inclusion, I very much don't live the life that I thought I would, which would be I would go out and do the business and Jo would look after the children. It's, no, you are a mother, you will do the children stuff too. So juggling children.
And the twins as well, aren't they?
Yeah, they are identical twins, both
with the same gorgeous curly hair.
Both gorgeous curly hair. And to our dismay, they wanted it short, so we got it cut for their birthday party and they look like teenagers now. Yeah. They've gone from having wonderful ringlets down here to having shorter hair at the back and curly-ish on the top. And I'm like, do you want to grow your hair? No. No. So they've got to that stage where they're little boys now. But yeah, they are brilliant. They don't stop.
What have they taught you?
I don't know. What have they taught me? Everything. Everything. Like, it doesn't matter. Yeah. It doesn't matter if I can't take that call. Like, it doesn't matter if I can't, send that email. I'm one of those people who would literally, if Jo and the kids weren't there, I would work all the hours God sends. That's just what type of person I am. I enjoy it.
Us too.
I love being busy.
We are.
I love work.
I feel like this is like confessions of
And I always thought, do you know what? I need to be less stressed. But actually, I live in stress. That's just me. I like to be busy. I like to be active. I like to do stuff. And because the type of industry that I'm in, it's always in and around helping people. Yeah. And then sometimes I have to go, well, how would I help myself? And I think that's the thing that I need to spend a lot more time doing. And the boys have definitely helped me do that.
Yeah, that's amazing.
So doing the school run when, you can see your emails popping in the morning and you're thinking, oh my God, I wish you would just stay still. Yeah. Just stay still, put your shoes on, put your shoes on. Have you got your shoes on? I feel like, honestly, the neighbours must think, is she got that on repeat? Like, she's said that a million times. But because there's two of them exactly the same age, I can't reason with the other. I can't say, will you just sit still while I sort your brother out? Because both of them just think they're hysterical. They're having the time of their life.
They probably just tag team on each other. Let's see we can do mum's head.
They do. They wrestle each other. They love each other. They're absolute whirlwinds. But yeah, they
They've got a best friend for life though, haven't they?
Yeah,
really?
definitely.
That's incredible.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So what's next for the role then with Dutton Gregory?
So yesterday we were finishing off our office. So we've opened up at Exchange Court, Liverpool City Centre.
Amazing.
Our new team starting the next week or two, which is exciting. And yeah, we've got, today while I'm here, a few of the team are interviewing for legal assistant roles. So it's all really exciting. Yeah, it's exciting. And it's nice being on the other side. It's nice as a person who's worked with property lawyers for 17 years, how, looking at it and going, this is what as an introducer I've wanted you to do. And it's nice to be able to say, look, this is what people want to deliver. Yeah. And with us, because it's quite a progressive firm, and they're always thinking about how best we can do to, achieve our goals, to help our people who we service, the people who we work with, and the people, it just makes my life easier. It's actually everything that I've felt or wanted in a business, or I've delivered in my own business, replicated in a model that I didn't think existed, because I didn't know about them until last year, because they're on the South Coast and been there 70 years, quite successful down there, and being able to deliver that message up north and be one of the people who would potentially or historically have used their services, then just makes... Yeah, I'm just excited, really. I just think it's a brilliant opportunity. Outside of London, we've got the highest concentration of qualified conveyancers, and if that's where people are working, in Liverpool and in the city here, that's where we will come, and we will hopefully recruit the best property lawyers in the area. So what's
your role then within that firm? What are you out there to do?
Oh God, a bit of everything. So, I'm an office manager. I will run and support the teams. Yesterday I was building furniture and sticking up posters and stuff on the walls. I was doing all sorts. So a bit of facility, a bit of everything. Yeah. So basically the person on the ground helping it run smoothly. And do you know what? It's so bizarre. So I've gone from being that person who does everything in your business. You do everything as a business owner. If your printer breaks, you fix your printer. If you run out of paper, you go and get paper. If you need something doing on social media, you may as well go and do it yourself. By the time you've told somebody how to do it, you should have just done it. And it's so bizarre now being part of this big organisation where you go, I think I need to create an invite for a Women in Property event that you guys are.
17th of May.
On the 17th of May.
Can't wait.
That we're supporting. Like, we need to put some graphics together. Well, the marketing team can do that for me. I don't have to do that myself. Oh, okay. This is so surreal. Yeah. I need business cards. Yes, somebody in facilities will organise them for you. I'm just not used to it. I'm not used to being able to get on and do the bit of the job that I love without having to worry about what other part of the job I'm having to sacrifice as a result. So it is
it's amazing.
Really
and
good,
we absolutely can't wait for the Women in Property event, can we? It's
17th of May. Tickets
really
are live.
Yeah,
incredible. Perfect.
So I think that then, Alex, is the perfect time to ask the most perfect question.
I feel like I'm at a disadvantage though, because you've been friends since you were 2.
I know, but I can't remember whether you've ever made me a cup of tea. Although
I don't think I've ever made you a cup of tea.
You have.
Have I?
Yeah. What? I think when we visited, you and Joe had not long had the boys, and we came to the house, didn't we? And we had a cup of tea.
See, this is what having children has to you. I can't remember this.
No.
A long time ago. Honestly.
Claire's held on to it then, so she knows that she's going to lose this.
You made an amazing cup of tea, and I know I watched you make it.
I was thinking, she's elaborated this whole story. I was like,
no, that's real. No, the story was real. We did really come to your house.
Did you? Yeah, we did. Remember we sat in the little kitchen bit with the big long table.
Yes, we did.
Yeah, in the
and we did some
and one of the boys was there, and the other boy was there, and it was they were great.
Yeah, I remember. It was a long time ago. I do remember that.
Yeah. And so I actually
don't make things up.
That I'm safe to drink your tea, but Alex, tell us the science behind
Dr. Alex,
the cup of tea. Yeah, this is another one of your many skill sets that you've got. Is that you also make tea correctly. So the correct way, guys, listeners who haven't tuned in before, the correct way to make a cup of tea is to put your tea bag into the cup, pour the water on, swirl the tea bag around, squeeze to the side a couple of times, take the tea bag out of the cup and pop the milk in. But Alex is going to tell us the science behind why that is the correct way and why the milk should never ever touch the tea bag.
You've built this up so dramatically that there's absolutely no reason why you've done this to me.
Go on, Alex. I'm ready. I'm waiting. I'm comfy.
So when you put the tea bag in with the water, the
Yeah.
whole idea behind the tea bag is to allow the tea to filter through the bag into the water to make it taste like
Alex.
tea. So if then you put milk in while the tea bag is in, the milk particles are a little bit heavier than water. Thicker, is that the right phrase? So what happens is it blocks the tea bag and it doesn't allow the tea to percolate through.
Okay, so my
Basic
argument to that would
osmosis.
be
Basic osmosis.
Osmosis.
Basic osmosis.
Tea has
So,
to pass through the
what I would
semi-permeable
say to
membrane,
that
and it can't
is-
with milk.
put your tea bag in. Just keep it for a bit longer. Don't throw your tea bag in and then throw your milk
But
in.
then when
let it brew.
when you squeeze the tea out and there's all like bits of milk.
But what colour
coming
milk
out.
do you use? What milk are you using for these like
Alex,
clumps
I
of
totally
milk
agree.
to be in your
Just
tea?
normal green top milk.
See, I use like the red top
Skimmed.
one.
Oh yeah, well that's like
completely new.
water.
There you go. So
But it's
what you're
still
saying
not
there
right.
is when I make my tea my
it's
way,
slightly more
there's
denser,
nothing.
hence they're having a bit of a higher calorie.
So nothing.
amount.
I will take my tea bag out and send you the tea bag.
Good. Thanks for that. That's like
A little special thing in the post, yeah. No, she's the godfather sends the horse's head. Claire's going to send the manky old
I was
tea
going to
bag.
send it in the post. I was just going to show you my tea bag. Maybe send
the tea bag.
There'll be no milk on it.
Not today, thank you.
And on that friendly note where Claire keeps her tea bag to herself and doesn't post it to any listeners or anyone else, guest or not on the podcast. We will see you all.
Enjoy your cup of tea though, Alex.
Thanks. Did you make it?
Might
Leave it
have.
there.
I'll tell you when you've drunk.
We'll see you next
Thanks,
time on
guys.
Spill the Tea with LLIB.